from all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, and she walks into mine. Play it, Sam.
Let's go on an adventure.
Hello and welcome to Capricious Conversations. Thank you for joining us today. Since we have done some top fives in the past, I thought today it would be really fun to do top 5 actors of all time. Now again, just like it was with our male vocalists of all time, this was super hard to narrow down because there are so many good actors. So we have a sampling. Do you disagree?
No, I agree.
We have a sampling here of what we think are the top male actors. Alright, so starting from 5 and working our way to 1, the best of all time. Izzy, what is your number 5?
My number 5, Chris Tucker.
Okay.
But he is, I think he's the only comedian on my list that's a straight comedian. Famous for Rush Hour movies, and I don't think anything else except for stand-up.
I'm being shouty.
Yeah. So, I like him a lot, and I think he's the only comedian on the list, so, and I always like my boy Chris Tucker.
I actually really like the Rush Hour movies.
They're good. My number 5 is gonna be Tommy Lee Jones. I just like his style. He has a really good style, and
He's so deadpan about his delivery, man. There was one movie, oh man, I can't remember what it was, but he was like the bodyguard for like this sorority or something like that.
I've never seen that one. I don't
Or
think.
for cheerleaders. I don't even remember what the movie was exactly, but the cheerleader was like, put on your happy face. And he's like, this is my happy face. So
Yeah, or the movie Bucket List.
I haven't actually seen that
Oh,
one.
that's a good one.
I need to check me out some Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
My number 5, again, this is kind of how I roll. So unless you're into Bollywood, you probably have never heard of this guy. But my number 5 is Amir Khan, who is like, dude, he stars in my favorite Bollywood movie, and possibly my favorite movie of all time. But it's called 3 Idiots, which if you haven't seen it, you have got to see this movie. It is so good. It's got everything, which is what I love about Bollywoods, right? There's song, there's dance, there's comedy, but there's also drama and a ton of heart. And it's just like, wow. And what a great message and a great moral. So check it out, y'all. Like, seriously, if you need a good intro to Bollywood, I think I've probably talked about this on the Bollywood episode, but if you need a good intro to Bollywood, 3 Idiots. Check it out.
Definitely.
All right, number 4.
Number 4. My number 4 is Kevin Spacey.
Okay.
And I only know Kevin Spacey from the Netflix original House of Cards.
Oh, that is really good.
Yeah, and I wouldn't recommend it to young people, and I had to stop watching it because I was like, it's getting too intense for some things, but knowing who he really is, Kevin Spacey, like such a cool guy, like really nice guy, to him going to Frank Underwood and just being the worst person, and he represents like politicians, like, and what really opens my eyes about like what's really going on. So, but he does an awesome job, and I really love his acting in that movie. So
He's been in a bunch of other stuff too that's like really quality stuff. Yeah. The only thing I would say about Kevin Spacey is that he tends to play similar characters a lot of the time, but he plays them very well.
yeah.
So, you know. All right, who's your number 4?
My number 4 is Anthony Hopkins. I really like the movie The World's Fastest Indian.
That is
He plays
so
such a good character in that
good,
movie,
man.
and it's so like, it just moves your heart, you know? And so it was a true story, and I love his acting ability.
That's one thing I love about Anthony Hopkins. Like, I mean, his dramatic work obviously is just stellar. I mean, he's a decorated actor for a reason. But I think, like, some of the stuff that I love the most is his more lighthearted, where you get to kind of see, like, what kind of guy he really is. Like, I really dig that about Anthony Hopkins. And I appreciate that he can do the dramatic and the lighthearted stuff.
Yeah.
My number 4, and it kind of pains me to put him this low on the list, but there's just, like, there was so much good stuff that I had to put him here, is Ewan McGregor, because I dig that dude, man. He's so
What
awesome.
movie does he play on?
So, he was Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Star Wars prequels.
Okay.
But he's been in a ton of stuff. Like, one of his first movies was Trainspotting, which, what an intense intro to movie making. The Island, my friends and I, there was a period of time where my brother and sister and our friend John, whenever we got together, we would watch one of two movies. We would watch Clue or we would watch The Island. Every single time. And oftentimes we watched them both. And we got together a lot, dude.
You're like, again,
But we love The Island, and I love Ewan McGregor, and like he has the same kind of thing where he can play kind of goofier stuff, and then he can play these like super intense dramatic moments, and he's super versatile, and he's Scottish, which you just can't get any better than that.
Yep.
Number 3. My number 3 is Denzel Washington.
He's a good actor.
He is a good actor. Like,
He is
I grew up
good.
with watching Remember the Titans, which he did such a
me
great
too.
job in that movie. But also, and then more recently, I mean, not really, whatever, however that works. But watching him play as a bad guy, which is so weird because I only picture him as a good guy. To see him being a bad cop and how like he just brings that character on, it's just like it's sad because you don't think of Denzel Washington as being a bad
You don't
guy,
wanna think of him
Yeah.
as bad.
but he did such a great job. So he's an awesome actor.
Yeah,
I've heard a lot of people say that, like, you know, playing the good guys is easy. It's like, it's what really becomes a challenge is when you have to play the bad guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, he is super convincing as a bad guy and like almost a little scary.
Yeah, he is a little scary. So my number 3 is it's gonna be Jet Li. I grew up on karate movies, so he's pretty much an awesome actor, and he's very talented in karate, and
That dude is amazing.
yeah, he brings it on.
And
sure.
I appreciate that he's still doing stuff. He's one of those,
Yeah.
again, like really super versatile actors where, like, you know, I mean, he's done the serious stuff. Like, have you ever seen The One?
Mm-hmm.
Super good. He can do the drama in The One, and then he can do goofy stuff like in Forbidden
Yeah.
Kingdom, and then
Yeah.
he can do, like, you know, total genres, which with The Expendables. And yeah, I dig
He's
Jet
awesome.
Li. My number 3 is another guy that you haven't heard of, but you should, because he is the Badshah of Bollywood, King Khan himself, Shah Rukh Khan. This dude, like, aside from just being awesome, because he is incredibly prolific. This dude has made so many movies. He owns 2 production houses in
Wow.
Bombay, or Mumbai, and he produces all sorts of movies. He produces a bunch of upstarts, so he gives, like, you know, the up-and-coming actors. He moved from Delhi with no money at all and ended up sleeping on a bench in Mumbai until somebody gave him a job. And now
wow.
he's the king of Bollywood, and he's awesome. He stars in one of my favorite movies, several of my favorite movies in the Bollywood genre, but Chennai Express,
Ocean Express.
which is great.
Mm-hmm.
So funny. And again, that's another one where it's like super funny, but it's also got a ton of heart. And you're like, you feel all the feels watching that movie, man. But he's also in Kal Ho Na Ho, which, wow, if you need a good cry, Kal Ho Na Ho is for you. And my other favorite, which is Ram Ne Bane Jodi. And he just... But again, that is such a small sampling of his work. He's made, like, I don't know, probably upwards of 100 movies. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Really, really cool. So check out Shah Rukh Khan.
Number 2, my only superhero on the list, Christian Bale.
Oh.
Batman.
Bale.
But I don't love him just for Batman because, I mean, top Batman. I'm sorry, that
He's
Batman
the
vs. Superman, I could not
Batman.
watch it because Christian Bale is the only Batman in my heart. Just saying. No one else. Like, I mean, I watched the old Batman movies, but Christian Bale is the only Batman, okay? And then when they came out with the Batman vs. Superman, when they came out with Batman vs. Superman recently, I was just like, no. If it's not Christian Bale, I'm not going to watch it. And I didn't. I'm not going to. But, no, there's that one movie where, I forgot what it's called. I think it's called, like, The Fight or something. And he's playing, like, a crack addict.
Yeah.
So,
the fighter,
That's
I think.
the fighter, yeah. He takes on a whole different personality, a whole different character, because, you know, in Batman movies, he's this tough guy. Like, you don't mess with him, he's on the right path, healthy,
Yeah.
rich, and then he goes from being, like some crack guy, like some crack addict, you know, who's really just lost and is just so in poor condition and is just terrible. So He does it. I love Christian Bale. I love him.
He's really good, although I just have to take you up on a little point. Adam West will always be the Batman. But, okay, for serious Batman, Christian Bale. Because, like, Adam West's Batman is so goofy. But he is the original. So, okay. Alright.
Alright.
Okay,
Number 2 is, for me, it's Jackie Chan. You know, I grew up on Jackie Chan. Jet Li came after. You know, so he's third. But Jackie Chan is like what I grew up on. Rumble in the Bronx, Mr. Nice Guy, like all these movies that me and my dad used to just watch. I just love Jackie Chan.
I dig Jackie Chan because he does all his own stunts, dude.
Yeah, and he does all his own stunts.
And he's got now he's got a karate company, and he trains a bunch of these stunt doubles and dudes that are doing the karate movies now.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
And he also, like, the other thing I love about Jackie Chan is not just his acting prowess, because, like, he is an amazing actor, but he is one heck of a philanthropist, and he just, like, he donates money like nobody's business, and, like, there was stories where he was driving along and saw, like, a village that, you know, was broken down and they didn't have things, and he built up the village. He built them a well, he built houses for them, and he gave it all to them.
Wow.
So he's a cool dude.
He's awesome. He's more awesomer than I thought.
He was also in Rush Hour.
That's awesome.
He was my favorite part of Rush Hour. Because, like, for me, Chris Tucker gets a little shouty.
Yeah.
But,
Come on, man! Come on, Lee!
Yep.
But it's still good. My number 2 is a classic Rat Packer, just hard-hitting Humphrey Bogart. That dude, like, it doesn't get much suaver than Humphrey Bogart. You know what I'm saying? Like, Casablanca, I don't know if there is a better romance story. Honestly.
I've never seen it. Add it to the list.
Add it to the list.
Add
You
it to
gotta
the list.
see Casablanca, dude.
Okay.
It's one of those. It's another one of those kind of like selfless love stories, and I just. But I mean, he was in so much that is super notable. Like, you know, The Maltese Falcon is another one that's just like amazing and classic because he's just so awesome, and he's super suave. Dig Humphrey Bogart. Check it out.
Suave.
I know that like a lot of younger viewers probably have not heard of him or the movies that I'm mentioning. Do yourself a favor and go check them out, because I'm telling you, the classics never go out of style, and they are darn good.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to.
All right, guys, it's time for the number 1.
Number 1. Not an Oscar recipient, which is really terrible, in my opinion. Johnny Depp. I love Johnny Depp, and like I was talking to you guys before, like my teacher told me he's just a pretty face in Hollywood. Lies. He's not just a pretty face. I mean, he does have a pretty face, but that's not the point. He's a good actor.
I think he maybe used to have a pretty face. I don't know if it's so pretty.
It's aged. But
he's awesome.
Yeah, he does I mean, there's
good,
there's those videos where just like it morphs his face from his different characters, and so like you have like Sweeney Todd, Edward Scissorhands, you know, Captain Jack Sparrow, Willy Wonka. It's like none of them are even the same. You can't even compare one to another because they're just not the same person.
That's something I like about him. Like, even though he is a pretty regular Tim Burton player, like every one of his characters in a Tim Burton movie is different. Which, like, I really like Helena Bonham Carter, but she tends to play fairly similar characters from movie to movie. Whereas, like, Johnny's range is just like, it's huge.
The Mad Hatter, I mean, yeah, definitely.
I feel like all of them have this like undertone of crazy, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Makes you wonder. No,
Makes you wonder.
So my number 1 is Robin Williams. He's such a classic, and there's nobody that can even come close to his humor and to his passion for acting and everything.
He's another one of those guys that, like, his crossover work was just really, really stunning. I mean, he could do dramatic work like nobody's business, and I think a lot of times that got overlooked just because his comedy was so good.
Yeah, that's true.
But his dramatic stuff, like, I don't know if you guys saw The Last Night at the Museum
Mhm.
But like that last scene where he's saying goodbye, like it was especially poignant just because of it followed Robin Williams' death. But I mean, just the acting prowess of him to, even in a comedy movie, bring that level of drama was really impressive.
Yeah, he was an impressive guy.
He was a very good actor.
I bet.
My number one is my favorite actor. I love Danny Kaye. Danny Kaye is amazing.
What is he playing? I know.
Don't even get me started. That's me. Don't even get me started, son.
Add it to the list. No.
Got it.
He was in The Court Jester. He was in White Christmas. You've seen White Christmas.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
we
okay.
did see that.
He
Which
in,
one
like,
was he?
He was the tall blonde one. The guy who hurt his arm. So White Christmas, which is the most classic Christmas movie.
Like,
Yeah.
which doesn't really mention Christmas to the very end, but it's still like
Right, I
so
know, but
awesome.
It's such a
Like
wonderful
you introduced me
movie.
to that movie, and I was just like so blown away because I loved it so much.
me
The Court
too.
Jester is one of my favorite movies. I love that. Wonder Man. Oh, he's so good. And he's another one of those guys where he's so funny. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which like there's a new one with Ben Stiller but don't even compare. It's completely different story, completely different vibe about it, but you need to see Danny Kaye's Secret Life of Walter Mitty because it is astonishing. And he had such a gift for language and songs and humor, and he was a hilarious guy. But he was also one of those dudes who could really do a crossover, and like he could do drama really well too. And he was just a fantastic guy, and he was awesome. So there you go, guys. That's our top 5s. Let us know in the comments what your top 5s are, and if you think we missed anybody, or if you agree. We also want to hear about that. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and thank you for sharing this video with all your friends. Let's go on an adventure.